Hi, it's Savannah Ogwin from Savannah Land 2. Today I'd like to share with you some ways to create easy Halloween tags using the Paper Smooches tag zigzag die, along with some other dies and stamps. Now if you follow me, or have seen some of my latest posts and videos, you might be asking, Sav, you don't even like Halloween. Why are you making Halloween tags? Well, you're right. I don't like Halloween, but I know several of you do. And I wanted to show you just another way to stretch your dies and stamps. You don't always have to have Halloween or themed images for your projects. Plus, this is a great way to use up some of your scraps. Now, as soon as I saw this tag zigzag die, I knew it would create the cutest ghost tag. Imagine it in white and then a couple of googly eyes and the word boo at the bottom. Super duper cute. And then I started to think about Frankenstein because his hair is zigzaggy as well. So I thought this was a great way to use this tag die. Now I also went through some of my Paper Smooches stamp sets and dies and found several other images that would work for these tags. For example, this watering can. I think if I round out this spout a little bit, it'll look like some screws coming out of Frankenstein's head. Now I haven't made this tag yet, so we'll see how it turns out. But be on the lookout in your stash. You might find one image that will work for several different themes, ideas, and more. Now since I want to share everything from start to finish, I'll be speeding up my video from here. I hope that you enjoyed this video and stop by the Virtual Smooches blog for more inspiration and tips and tricks. So to get started, all I did was I pulled out my cuddle bug and I decided that I was going to die cut all of the images at once. So I'm going to cut 3 ghosts from white cardstock, and then I'm going to cut 3 Frankenstein faces from the green cardstock. I also did the same thing with the black hair, but I'm going to slow this down a little bit. I'm going to show you that I decided to move the die cut up a bit so that it would die cut the top along with the zigzag, so that the hair fit right on the tag. And I loved how that looked. I did end up cutting one of the bottoms because I didn't think the zigzag it didn't look right to me, so I cut off the bottom. I think I'm going to end up doing that in the end. Next I'm going to cut the water spout into the screw pieces. And I'm testing how it looks at first. I wasn't sure. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to round them, but I thought they looked perfectly fine, so I ended up using the image just as it is. Now I'm going to cut some sentiments for the ghost, and it's going to say boo. And then I pull out my oval 1 die, and I decide that I'm going to cut and stamp Frankenstein's eye. So that's what I did next. I pulled out some Whisker Graphics Divine Twine, and now I'm checking out which pupil and circle I wanted to use for Frankenstein's eye. I knew I was going to use googly eyes on the ghost, and that's what I'm testing out now, which size I wanted to use. Look how super cute that is! And then I pull out more eyeballs for the ghost, but then I decide that maybe I wanted to use it for Frankenstein, but I ended up not liking it, so I am going to stamp his eyeball. Now I'm going to glue that little ghost together, starting with his eyeballs. And for not liking Halloween, I think this ghost is just the cutest. It was super simple to make, and it could be added to lots of different candies and treat bags. Now I'm putting the sediment into the sticker maker so that it's easier for me to apply to the ghost. And soon I'm going to be done with the ghost. Literally. So easy. I pulled out some Divine Twine here and I doubled it. And I really liked how that looked. But for the other two, I think that a single strand of twine would be better. So that's what I do for those. Adorable. So cute. I literally can't get over how cute these are. Now Frankenstein is a little bit different because A, I don't know anything about Halloween, So I had to do some research on what Frankenstein looked like. And I think my finished image was fine. It's just, I kind of messed up a little bit. So now I'm putting his hair through the sticker maker as well. Only 2 would fit. The third one was a little too large. But I add his hair. And I believe next I add his eyeballs. And all I did was use Tombow Mono multi-glue and just attach them that way. And at this point, I couldn't find the other 2 eyeballs, but they were up in the corner. Now I'm cleaning off my desk and I'm going to start adding the screws. And again, I really like how they ended up looking. I didn't have to alter them, and that made it much easier for me too. And so far, I think Frankenstein looks okay. Now, in the end, I don't end up liking these bows on Frankenstein, so I only added it to one of them. If I add it to a candy for my niece or nephew, what I'm going to do is just tie it around using black string. Now I get out Need a Little Love, and I am using the stitch to try and figure out how I want to make the stitch marks on Frankenstein. And I was going to put it for his mouth, but I thought that might be too much, so I decided to just add a couple of stitches on his face with no mouth. And that's where I think I messed up. I think I should have added it to his mouth. But in the end, I still think it looks like Frankenstein. And I know some of you who are Halloween enthusiasts, you're probably going to be upset with me that I didn't add a mouth, but I really do end up liking how he looks. Now I'm checking to see if some of that zigzag leftovers would look good as some eyebrows, but I decided not to use that. And that's how I made these easy tags. That's really it. Now I hope that you will create some of these tags, Ghost or Frankenstein, for the upcoming holiday, or even get a bit creative with some of your own Paper Smooches stamps and dies. Take a look at your stash. You might be able to stretch some of your images. Please leave a comment below with a link to any of your creations or projects, or link up to the Inspired by Virtual Smooches post. Maybe you will be our next featured fan. Plus, I'd love to check out your project. Thanks so much for watching.